Welcome back to C-Riz. My name is Tia. Hey, so I am just going to be doing a quick check-in for the Twin Flame community. I hope that's okay. You can see, because I'm going to try to... when I read for the Twin Flame journey, I like to use oracle cards. I'm using the lovely Mystic Moons, what should you call it? Twin Flame Journey Oracle. Oh, I'm sorry I haven't been on here in a while. Life's just been kind of overwhelming. But I'm called to get back on here and read for you today. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. There we go. That was a little much. Yes. There you go. We'll go like this. I know. I get finicky. There we go. Yeah. Welcome back. For those of you who are returning, I appreciate you so much for being so patient. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. Won't you please consider to subscribe to my channel, help me build this platform from the ground up. If I could speak. So you might want to know that I typically read for those. This reading is going to be for people who believe that they are on a twin flame journey, or like a high level mirroring soulmate connection. If you don't believe in it, that's fine. If you just want to watch the content and for entertainment. If you do not see yourself in this reading, my suggestion would either check out, I put up a different reading that is for more soulmate cycle type connections earlier. You can, all my readings are timeless, so whenever you find them, you can look at them. And if you were led and guided to it, then it's for you. But there are, I was going to say, a whole lot of really amazing readers on YouTube. So if you're not finding yourself in this reading, or you don't believe in the twin flame journey or something like that, my suggestion would be to click off. And I do not say that in a rude way. It's just that these type of connections can be really triggering. And really the intention that I hold on this channel, for all my readings really, is, you know, for confirmation of what you already know, to help you sharpen your own intuitive and psychic abilities, to develop discernment for 5D, when we get into 5D connections that are in more the etheric or the energetic or the 5D type. We have to use a lot more of our psychic or intuitive discernment, because if you truly are on a twin flame journey, I'm sure that you've, you know, already kind of learned and know that really this type of connection really triggers a spiritual awakening. So there can be psychic activations, your spiritual gifts, especially for on this channel or people who watch content like this, are typically divine feminine. Now, divine feminine is not a gender, okay? it's more of an energy. And you can absolutely be in a male body and be embodying a feminine energy. Okay, so I like to choose my cards more intuitively when I'm going to kind of tilt this down a little bit. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But anyway, what I was saying is, so we're developing discernment. So these readings are going to be more about confirmation of what you already intuitively know about your connection. But I do tend to channel for people who are in separation or just not yet into a 3D union. So keep that in mind. So somebody wants to make an offer. This song right here, I can't get enough of your loving, babe. Okay, so somebody wants to make an offer and move in a new direction. Because they're being guided. And they received the message. Somebody got the message. Okay. I'll recap, don't worry. I'll recap this for you at the end. Yeah. They've raised their vibration. They're in a much higher frequency now. And I see this person on this card. Do you see they're meditating and they're receiving the messages from the divine? They're receiving the downloads. And that's causing a reinvention. So they're surrendering. They're surrendering to the journey. So you might see something happen in summer. Well, right on top of that, so that's pretty good news, right? Yeah, in summer you might see them return. They want to make a return. Your twin flame wants to return. But they might be unawakened. Looks like divine masculine, right? Because it's a man. I only say that in the colors in this, you know. Your twin flame wants to return, but they're unawakened. but they're missing you. Yikes. I mean, if they're missing you, and they recognize who you are to them. They recognize what this connection is. Maybe it was that they were when you two first they were unawakened then, and now they're missing you and they recognize who you are, or are they returning? Yeah, but feminine here. And I only say that because there's a female in the picture. But like I said in the beginning, gender's not actually a thing. It's energy. Okay? The feminine in this connection is in grief. Yeah. Focusing on money and stuff. There's a lot of grief going on in the material world. Doesn't have to be money, but feminine's experiencing a lot of grief in the material world. Because there's been a lot of destruction in the 3D part of this connection in the material world. Now, in the traditional tarot, this would be the Tower. So the Tower is when something's not built off of, when the Tower's not built. The Tower happens when the connection is not built on a solid, firm, stable foundation. It's like built on sand or something. So the hand of God has to kind of come in. I mean, in the traditional tarot or Rider Waite anyway, there would be a lightning bolt coming down. This looks like a tornado actually, and that's pretty freaking destructive, right? So the feminine in this connection has been in a lot of grief due to the destruction that's happened in the material world, in the 3D part of there. So I'm into, I mean, you're obviously in separation. And maybe how that separation happened was sudden, shocking, and painful for the feminine. And so because feminine's in grief, yeah, okay, masculine wants to make a return in summer, possibly unawakened because he's missing the feminine. Feminine's still in a lot of grief because of the destruction in the material world, and so the connection's been stuck. Stuck like Chad. But there is a lot of healing that's taking place. You know, going within and maybe learning a lot about your spirit, your soul. Balancing what maybe we call chakras. You see that enlightenment happening there. Maybe doing some meditative practices. Doing your own healing work. This is good, viewer. This is good. And you are admired. Yeah, you are admired. There's a commitment here, even if it's on a soul level. Even if, you know, and you know that you're still connected, even though you're completely separated in the 3D. There's a commitment to the connection. And you feel that. Sometimes it feels like you're bound. Like somebody, maybe like the devil, like some type of devil energy did a binding spell on you or something, right? You can't, you know, maybe your masculine feels the same way. You don't really know. But you feel bound to this. It's like an obsession. It's toxic, right? That's why you're trying to do your healing work. And make a commitment to your healing work, right? There's some toxic energy here though. Yeah. But everybody here is seeing signs. Everybody here is seeing signs. So these are your spirit guides talking to you, your angels, Holy Creator, the Most High, your ancestors. They'll point the way, right? You know what you're in is the dark night of the soul. Oh, ouch. What's the dark night of the soul, viewer? That's the ego death. That's painful. What's the ego death? It's when everything you once believed is kind of changing. It's changing. You're transforming. You're not who you thought you were. You know, your belief systems are changing. Maybe you don't want the same job anymore. Maybe you don't want the same partner anymore. Maybe, you know, you want to move and live a completely different lifestyle. Like where maybe once you were really religious, now you're becoming a lot more spiritual. You know, like maybe before having a lot of money and material things meant a lot to you, and now you really would rather be more free-spirited and not so shackled down and dependent, you know, or have to work a million hours to support a lifestyle that doesn't really resonate with you anymore. That's what the ego death is. You're starting to realize, like, you know, like the ego is part of our identity. It's like, you know, I'm Tia, and I'm this such and such age, and I'm from here, and my parents are like this, and I have this many siblings, and I do this for work, you know, this is my career, I went to college here, you know, or if you're a parent, you know, I have this amount of kids, or, you know, I'm this person's wife or this person's husband. So this is part of our ego identity, and that's shifting and changing and dying. It's dying. And it's really, 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 really scary, and really, 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 really painful, because some of those things we really loved about ourselves, you know, that was our identity, and now it's changing, and it's not the same now. And sometimes like this is like a forced spiritual awakening, right? Force being the key word. Like maybe you think I wasn't ready for that, or I don't want things to change, or I don't want my friends and family to look at me different. You know, I don't want those relationships to change, or, you know, that's what this is. This ego death, the dark night of the soul. But you know, it's kind of like the caterpillar in the chrysalis, I think they call it, where that caterpillar goes into the cocoon, right? And it's basically like literally like mush. It's like, how could that thing even survive that, right? But it does, because it's transforming. It's growing wings. And when it comes out of there, usually it's got to hang somewhere and dry off for a while. And then it has beautiful, glorious wings, and it flies away a completely different, completely transformed. This is about transformation. Yeah. Well, we're in spring right now, so maybe this is happening right now. And also, spring is, you know, symbolic for a rebirth, right? Being born again, right? Yeah, because there's been a lot of pride and ego in this connection. Everybody's been peacocking all around, right? Yeah, well, that's why the dark night of the soul is so painful, right? Because we get into our pride and our ego, we become really stubborn, we stick our nose in the air. This is what causes the running and the chasing. This right here, pride and ego. And typically both twins have this, okay? Because you're mirror souls. It's just expressed differently, right? It's usually one's more stubborn than the other. So that's, yeah, you're feeling bound. It's feeling toxic because also it's right in the midst of an ego death. But everybody here, remember, is seeing signs. And I mean, you probably see this and know this about your connection already, right? That maybe you or your person or both have been in pride and ego, which is maybe why nobody's talking here. You're in complete silence, right? But that's because there's pride and ego, because there's a karmic partner somewhere in the mix here. Do you see? What's a karmic partner? Of course, we look at them as like, oh, we demonize them and all of that. But really, they're just, they're teaching your person or you, whoever's got this karmic partner, maybe you both do. But being that the feminine's in grief, it seems like it's probably more on the masculine side, what we're talking about. A karmic partner is really for a time or a phase in our lives that is to teach us lessons, you know, that we need to learn, that our twin really can't teach us. Our soulmate really can't teach us. Only a karmic can teach us that. But they typically like to stay past their expiration date. And it goes back to what we were talking about, pride and ego. Somebody, they're bound to some karmic partner that's part of their, yeah, okay. Let me just give you an example. It may or may not resonate with your personal situation, but I'm just trying to give an example of what I'm saying. Maybe somebody was married or in a long-term commitment, and it's long been over between them, but they're too proud, you know, like my culture, my religion, you know, you don't get divorced, you stay together for life, for life, for life, for life. But the relationship's long over. It's become really toxic. But you stay till death do us part. But till the death of what? I mean, ideally, we wanted to live our lives out together, but that might have been two different people at a totally different time. Or some people get married for all different reasons. And things change. Vows have been broken maybe on both sides. Maybe what the glue was to stick together with children, and now they're grown and out of the home. And that was really the only thing that kept them together. I mean, you know, I'm just throwing out examples, but because it gets into pride and ego, I don't want to give up. I don't want to fail, you know, things like that. Yeah. But you have to be patient. You have to be patient. Oh, I know. I'm an Aries, for those of you who don't know. So patience is definitely not one of my strong suits. And I seem to be having to learn it all the time in a lot of different situations in my life. But patience is good. It is a virtue, you know. We have to be patient with ourselves a lot of the time, and that's the hardest one, right? I'm always hardest on myself than anyone else, you know. I have to be patient with myself, you know, because barrier in reverse, barriers are being removed. Be patient. Ooh, I know, I hate to hear that. Barriers are being removed. Okay, so I'm going to call it there. So we're kind of getting long, but I want to pull one last message for you, and then I'll recap, and then I will cut this quick. It's just meant for a quick little twin flame check-in. Oh, again, I don't know if I said it before. You're watching Sirius, and my name is Tia. Please hit the like button if you've made it this far in. Let me know that you got something out of the message. I have the comments turned off. I will turn them back on. It's just there was a bunch of creepers and scammers out there. And by the way, I'm not doing any personal readings right now. My schedule is just way too overwhelming to do that justice. So if anyone approaches you, first of all, I never reach out to anyone. So if anyone's approaching you on any social media platform, that's not me. That's a scammer. Either just ignore them or report them. That was like a whole chunk, a whole entire chunk. Oh, okay, yeah. The Divine Masculine wants forgiveness. I say that because there's a male in that picture. So Divine Masculine wants forgiveness. He was acting out of some inner child wounds. He's doing some inner child work. It says fall. Maybe something happened in fall, or something will happen in fall. We've seen summer here too. They want to return, but they're unawakened. But maybe, you know, they want some forgiveness. They're working on some inner child wounds. Might see something in fall. Or I can read this another way too, is your masculine wants forgiveness. They were acting out of their inner child wounds. And they're doing some inner child work, which is going to bring them a harvest. They're going to harvest some, yeah, that healing we saw back here. Where'd that go? There it is. Yeah, the harvest is going to be healing, right? And that illumination is them waking up because they're getting ready. They're doing a lot. They're letting go of a lot of inner child trauma, right? And they're learning lessons. They are learning, even if it doesn't seem like it. Okay, I was just going to recap for you real quick. Somebody wants to make an offer and move in a new direction. They're being guided and they've received the message. They've raised their frequency. Oh, I got this I'm such a messy reader. I'm sorry. Yeah, they've raised their frequency, so they're going through a reinvention. And they're surrendering to the connection, to the journey. And they want to make a return this summer, in the summertime. They know you're their twin flame. They know that. Either they were unawakened or they are unawakened. But they're in nostalgia. They're missing you. They're really, really missing you. They recognize who you are to them. That's twice. That's confirmation. But the feminine's in grief over what happened in the material world, in the 3D. It caused a lot of destruction. And now the connection's stuck. But the feminine, but you're admired here. I want to say this admiration goes both ways. And both are committed to the connection, to the journey. But you're feeling like there's some, there's toxicity here. There's some toxic energy here. And someone's feeling bound and going through the dark night of the soul. But they are seeing signs and they're being led and guided. But this karmic partner keeps this person in pride and ego. This karmic partner has a lot of pride and ego. But your person and you are both healing. So be patient. Barriers are being removed. Your masculine wants forgiveness. He was acting out of inner child wounds. And the harvest there is going to be that healing, because they are learning lessons. Okay. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you to the Most High Creator. Thank you to our angels, our ancestors, our spirit guides for supporting us, protecting us, and giving us confirmation and healing and guidance. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Okay, I hope that you got something out of this message. And if you did, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, won't you please consider it if you like my vibe. For those of you who are already subscribed, I appreciate you more than you know by being so patient with me. I promise to keep putting up some more good videos to help you. Yes. Don't get scammed. I'm not giving it. I'm not reaching out to anybody or anything. I'm not doing personal readings right now. My schedule's way too busy. I appreciate all of you and value you all so much, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, be blessed, my friends.